The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Say it louder so your other eye can hear you.
It looks beautiful, but I don't know anything about her. So it's hard to develop some sort of admiration or connection with women when they're written very two-dimensional.
You don't get to rewrite history just because you have a platform. That's the kind of phrase you'd expect to hear in the middle of a heated debate online. But when it came to the firestorm surrounding Rachel Ziegler and Disney's Snow White remake, it was more like a battle cry. What started as just another Disney live-action reboot turned into a cultural moment. Controversial, unexpected, and honestly, a little chaotic. But how did we get here? Why is Rachel Ziegler at the center of the drama? And what exactly happened with Disney that left fans wondering if she's been booted from the project she once led? Let's go back to where this all started. The announcement that shook the internet. When Disney first announced that they were doing a live-action remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the internet had mixed feelings. Some were excited. After all, Disney has made a fortune bringing animated classics to life. Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, Aladdin. Love them or hate them, they drew in massive audiences. But when Rachel Ziegler, a Colombian-American actress fresh off her breakout role in West Side Story, was cast as Snow White, the conversation shifted. Big time. Critics argued she didn't look the part. Others celebrated the casting as a move toward more diverse representation. The debate turned into a battleground, one side defending Zegler's casting as progressive and refreshing, the other insisting Disney was rewriting a classic in the name of politics. And then Rachel spoke up. Loudly. Zegler's comments, where things took a turn. Let's be real. Most actors try to stay neutral when controversy sparks. Not Rachel. During interviews promoting the film, Zegler made it clear she had her own take on Snow White's story. She said things like, it's not 1937 anymore, and that her version of Snow White wouldn't be saved by a prince. She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. In theory, empowering, in practice, the internet did not take it well. Clips of her interviews went viral. People started accusing her of bashing the original movie. Some even said she seemed ungrateful to Disney and the role that put her on the map. A hashtag #not my Snow White began trending. It got that serious. And when you thought the internet couldn't spiral more, Disney went and dropped a bombshell. First, Disney quietly makes a move. Fast forward to late 2024. Disney suddenly made a subtle but telling change. Without any major fanfare, they updated press materials about the Snow White remake. Rachel Ziegler's name? No longer front and center, even more suspicious? Whispers began to leak that reshoots were happening. Reshoots, without Zegler. At first, people thought maybe it was all gossip, but then casting rumors emerged, suggesting Disney was looking for someone else to play Snow White. Fans started speculating. Was Rachel Ziegler replaced? To make things even spicier, one anonymous source close to the production told an entertainment blog, Disney wants to quietly correct course. They feel the controversy surrounding Rachel is overshadowing the film. Let that sink in for a second. Rachel responds, and it's not pretty. You'd think Rachel would go silent while rumors flew. Nope. She hit social media with a passion. In a now-deleted tweet, she posted, "Funny how people love to twist narratives and silence women who speak up. I'm proud of everything I've done with Snow White. You don't get to erase me." Cue the firestorm. Supporters rallied to her defense, praising her for standing up for herself. But critics only dug in deeper, claiming she was throwing a tantrum and refusing to take accountability. The line between criticism and personal attack blurred, as it so often does online. And for Rachel, the backlash wasn't just professional, it got deeply personal. Sarpor. Disney's dilemma, stuck between progress and profit. Now, let's step back. Was Disney ever really on board with Zegler's interpretation of the character? Or did they just think she'd be an easy PR win, a rising star with awards buzz and a diverse background? Because here's the thing, Disney is a brand. And brands don't like controversy unless they can spin it into dollars. After months of viral negativity, even parodies of Zegler's interviews, Disney had to ask itself, will this version of Snow White make money? Or is it just going to be a massive PR mess? It seems they made their choice. Reports now say the studio is working on retooling the film's tone to make it more faithful to the original. That includes reintroducing the prince. And guess what else? Apparently, the 7 magical creatures are gone, and they're bringing back actual dwarfs. After the original controversy with Peter Dinklage, it's like Disney hit undo on the entire remake. Chapter Fatih Mofuris. The bigger picture. Why this story matters. It's easy to look at this and say, it's just a movie. But it's not. This is a snapshot of where we are culturally. We're in this weird moment where audiences demand both authenticity and tradition. We want progress, but not too much. We want change, but only the kind we're comfortable with. Rachel Ziegler's Snow White became a lightning rod because it challenged something sacred, nostalgia. Snow White isn't just a character, she's a symbol. The first Disney princess. The start of a global empire built on fairy tales. And when Zegler, with all her confidence and modern ideas, stepped into that role, it ruffled feathers. Some people felt seen, others felt attacked. And Disney? They felt nervous. So they did what companies do when things get messy. They pivoted. Fast. 660. Was Rachel actually replaced? Here's the honest truth. Disney hasn't confirmed anything, not officially. But the signs are hard to ignore. From reshoots to casting whispers to shifting narratives and promo material, it doesn't look good. And for Zegler, who once called the role a dream come true, this must feel like a nightmare. It's one thing to face criticism. It's another to be quietly pushed out of your own movie. But in Hollywood, that's not uncommon. If a star becomes more of a liability than an asset, studios move on, and they rarely say it out loud. Lushat. What happens next? Rachel Ziegler isn't going away. She's talented, outspoken, and still has a solid fan base. But this Snow White chapter? It might be closing faster than anyone expected. The bigger question is, what does this mean for Disney? They're facing a wave of skepticism from all sides. On one hand, they're being accused of caving to backlash. On the other, they're criticized for ever straying from the original formula. And fans? They're tired of the drama. They just want a good movie, one that feels magical without being preachy, one that respects the past without ignoring the present. Is that too much to ask? Yefriswars. A modern fairy tale with a messy ending. In the end, the Rachel Ziegler Snow White saga is more than a casting controversy. It's a reflection of our fractured culture, our endless debates over wokeness and tradition, and the impossible expectations we place on public figures, especially women of color. Rachel Ziegler tried to bring something new to a beloved story. She wasn't trying to disrespect the original. She was trying to evolve it. But the world wasn't quite ready. And maybe Disney wasn't either. Fairy tales aren't just stories. They're mirrors. They show us who we are, what we value, and where we're headed. This time, the mirror showed us something complicated, and maybe a little uncomfortable. Once upon a time, we said, but the rest of the sentence, that's still being written. And if you're here for the twists, turns, and behind-the-scenes drama, make sure you unsubscribe in for more deep dives like this one.